Independent Electoral Commission goes back to the field to reconduct about 80 election nullified by the appeal court. Has INEC learned anything from the Bayelsa and Kogi elections? Plus, we'll look at the fate of Senators Stella Odua and Anduba and their colleagues over the Supreme Court judgment and Anambra PDP leadership tussle. That's our focus tonight on the program. Thank you everyone for joining in. I'm Sheon Akinbaloye. Loads of issues coming up today and so fast too on the political scene, and we're catching up with as much as we can to give you details of these stories. Well, so let's begin with the story of the People's Democratic Party's effort in rebuilding the party. The National Caucus are this time expected to begin a crucial meeting aimed at helping the party consolidate ahead of the ambition to regain prominence in 2019. So we're keeping tabs on that so we can get to you a sense of what they talked about at the end of that meeting. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has given reasons for its verdict on the Akwa Ibom governorship election. The Apex Court says the inability of the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Umana Umana, to prove his allegation of criminal acts beyond reasonable doubt during the last governorship election in the state is the reason for resolving the petition in favor of the incumbent Governor Emmanuel Udom. In a late judgment delivered by Justice Santos Nwaze, the court held that the petitioner made allegations of criminal acts but could not prove it beyond reasonable doubt, and that the lower court curiously used a newspaper report to decide on criminal acts, misconceiving the grounds of the appeal of the APC and its candidate. According to him, the law is settled that disenfranchisement must be proved polling units by polling units. Staying with stories coming from the court, the INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, that is, has approached the Supreme Court over the Anambra PDP leadership tussle. INEC is asking the Supreme Court to clarify the political status of Senators Anduba, Stella Odua, and other Anambra federal lawmakers of the People's Democratic Party. Well, this follows the Apex Court's recognition of the list of candidates originally submitted by the Ejike Ogwebego-led State Executive Committee of the party. A team of lawyers led by Mr. Adigboyega Awomolo, SAN, filed a motion on notice dated February 5, 2006, asking the electoral body to clarify 6 issues. And it says it is confused on the step to follow and is asking the Apex Court to review its judgment in the interest of justice. A panel of Supreme Court justices had on January 29 affirmed the Federal High Court judgment, which held that only the Ogwebego-led state PDP executive could organize the party's primaries in Anambra State. No date has been fixed for hearing the motion. Meanwhile, a group loyal to the Ejike Ogwebego faction, which got the Supreme Court judgment as the rightful leadership of the Anambra PDP, today held a press conference in Abuja, the nation's capital. The candidates of the Ogwebego's group is asking INEC to declare them as the real occupants of the federal legislative seats.
It's indeed baffling why there seems to be any form of controversy. I can tell you there are no controversies. This judgment can be understood by anyone. The issue of going for clarification is a non-starter. Because how can you say you are the candidate? How can you say you are representing Anambra State? Why the court of law has upheld that the way you came in is illegal, cannot be used for anything. The judgment of the Supreme Court must be obeyed. INEC need to do the needful. We do not understand why our certificates of return has not been issued to us.
Judgment that we obtained from the Apex Court is very clear. It is very clear because he went ahead to uphold the judgment that came from Justice Chukwu of the lower court. There are processes of an election, which you well know. We went through it. We went through the primaries. We went through the campaign. And we went to Supreme Court. And because we went to the Supreme Court, our name, in inverted comma, was still there. And the Supreme Court did not give their judgment until the 29th of January 2015 and gave us the judgment. So anybody saying we did not go for election is not understanding it very well.
Which will be, of course, there, and Honorable Ofia, Tony Ofia there. They are members loyal to the Ogwebega group who are asking that they be confirmed and declared as the rightful occupant of those legislative seats. We'll keep tab on that story and keep you up to date as they're coming. But let's take you to Kogi State now, where it's not really clear the twist of things in the state ahead of the rerun elections, which is slated for next Saturday, as APC may not be participating. But meanwhile, all of the parties have lined up again behind the PDP candidate, and this is the reason why APC may not be participating in the rerun election. In less than a week, several parts of Kogi State will return to election mode, but in that exercise, the ruling APC is exempted. This is obvious looking closely at INEC's schedule for the exercise. At a meeting of stakeholders in the state, INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, Mr. Halilu Pai, said the All Progressives Congress are not eligible to participate, noting the exclusion of the party from the rerun election was in compliance with the order of the court, which had particularly ordered the APC and its candidates should not be part of the rerun polls.
PPA and SDP. These are the parties that are going to participate in this election. And for the Ogori Okene Federal Constituency, where also the whole, by our records, we are only going to have the PDP as directed by the court.
But that decision did not go down well with the APC.
What I know is that the Commission does not want to be dragged into conducting another election. What I know you are waiting for is a proper interpretation of the court order.
It is less than a week to the polls,